so we won't be doing our normal Holly Jolly Holidays celebration, but that does not mean that there will not be a Holly Jolly Holidays. We're just doing it as a take and make. So project number 1 of the, normally you get to make about 3 ornaments. So number 1 is a easy gnome project. First order of business, catch your art supplies that are blowing away. Second order of business, cut a triangle. This is a gnome hat, so whatever your gnome actually wants to wear, it can be fancy, it can be standard, it can be whatever you want. So you cut that, and then second order of business is to add his beard. So you'll glue the beard directly to the inside of his hat. So how do you make the beard? Well, we just go ahead and depends on how long you want his beard. It's kind of like pom-pom making. So I just wrap the yarn around my hand as many times as I think that he'll have beard across. And then once I have the beard pieces, I will trim that off, trim at the top, trim at the bottom, and that's how you get the little singular beard pieces. And then go ahead and do a row of glue. I did use hot glue. You can use tacky glue or fabric glue or Elmer's glue, whatever kind of glue. Just keep in mind that your drying times will change depending on your glue. So once you have the beard glued to the triangle, you will take fabric that had blown away, but I caught it, it's okay, and you will decide which side of the fabric you want to use, because this one's pretty fancy. It has 2 sides. And then you'll go ahead and you'll cut out kind of a funny shaped piece so that you can wrap it around the triangle and then glue it. I did it kind of up the sides so you couldn't see the seam quite as much. And then you'll have a little bit of an embellishment of some sort of lace or trim of some sort, and we'll send you with a nose, and we will also send you with something for the top of his hat, probably a bell, but who knows? I might dig something out of the craft closet that I'm like, oh, I really want someone to make a gnome with this. So you never know what you're gonna find in your bag. So we've got our fun little gnome guys here. And as you can see with the one, I do recommend if you have just an easy triangle shape, just fold the fabric around. You can see my seam back there, but I tried something fancy. And I made him a very fancy swoopy hat. And I wasn't too pleased with how the edges turned out, but most people aren't going to notice unless you point it out. So when you make crafts for people, for gifts, don't point out the parts that you don't like, because otherwise, in all likelihood, they're probably not going to notice. So here is gnome number 2 here, and I used this really thick material and a little bit of evergreenery, his nose. I sculpted his beard a little bit more. So have fun making your gnome friends. Yeah, okay, that guy was backwards. Have fun making your gnome friends. Holly Jolly Holidays project number 2. Be prepared to get a little bit messy, but you're doing one of my projects, so you probably already knew this. So you might end up covered in pine sap. Here's a question I get almost every day at the library. Dawn, how do you deconstruct a pine cone? Well, here's the easy way when you want to actually use your pine cone pieces as flower petals, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a poinsettia. So take somewhere in here, one of the ones that you can reach in, and if you wiggle it back and forth, so wiggle it back and forth, not up and down, because up and down and they tend to shatter. So back and forth, and then once you get the first couple off, then they come off pretty easily. And so you'll do that until your fingers are covered in pine sap, and then we're going to glue them around and around and around. We'll start at the outside of a little cardboard circular piece, work our way in and stack the petals in a circle, and then we're going to paint them red because it's a little poinsettia ornament. So I know you've always wanted to see the inside of a pinecone. Bet you didn't know it looks like that, did you? How cool is that? Pinecones are awesome and they make fabulous flowers. So we are going to, now that we have broken our pinecone apart, we are going to continue to make the little poinsettia ornament. I don't have any hot glue out here with me. I don't have any glue out here with me, although I am sticking to everything. So what we are going to do is I have cut a circle for my poinsettia out of cardboard, and then I have a whole cup full of the little pinecone pieces. And since I'm making a poinsettia, it's a lot like making a daisy. Oop, except that, yes, I am still sticky. So I am taking the little petals and I'm going to go around. Now, I would be doing this with glue, so feel free to cover that in whatever your favorite glue is, whether it be hot glue or tacky glue probably would work best, because that's a nice thick glue that'll dry pretty sturdy. And so you'll go around and around and around and around until I will soon show you the finished poinsettia project. I admit it, I confess, you are never going to get the pine sap off of your hands, but you are going to smell awesome all day. Holly Jolly Holidays, project number 3 in some of the bags. So we are going to take 3 bottle caps, paint them white, and then glue on your little embellishments, glue a ribbon around the back, and then loop it so that you can hang it. And once you have added your embellishments, it's going to be a little bottle cap snowman. Okay, so I cheated for you again. Instead of sending tiny bits of white paint, I went ahead and I pre-spray painted all of the bottle caps for the snowman. And now we are going to have to decorate our snowman. I am sticking to my snowman because of the pine sap, but it's okay because that way it's just going to smell good. So I am making him a little scarf right now, or her. I am making her a little scarf, and I just went ahead and fringed the end of a strip of felt for the scarf, and then we will glue that around. Once we glue our little snowman together, then we will have a hat. Here I made a little top hat, and I'm making some polka dots for the little floppy hat here. So just have fun dressing your snow people. Okay, I'm almost out of light, so let's go through the bottle cap snowmen really quickly. I used a little bit of 3D fabric paint just because it has a really nice little spigot there for dotting your snowmen. I'm not sure what I'm going to send in the take and make kits at this point. It might be acrylic paint with a toothpick, which also would work. I went ahead and in order to hang my little snowmen, I braided some tatting string art string in red and green. I might send some string art string with some people. I might send some ribbon I'm not entirely sure what's going to be in the kits because, like I said, sometimes I find something in storage that I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be totally awesome. And so just be prepared that you might find some really interesting things in your kit. For the carrot nose, I cut off just a little bit of a pipe cleaner, and so make the little carrot out of that. I have some embellishments that I'll send with the felt and possibly ribbon or some fabric of some sort to make the hats and the scarves. And I made him a little bit of holly, and then once I go inside, I'm going to try to find something to make some holly berries and finish up my little snowmen. On today's episode of It's Nebraska, and it's, yeah, no, let's just say no. Okay, welcome back to It's Nebraska, and it's actually really cold out. So we are going to finish up our Christmas craft right now for our take and makes, for the multi-ornament take and make. And as you can see, this one is very simple, and yet it's very outdoorsy, and it is perfect for your Christmas tree. So we take one gorgeous pine cone, thank you Father Stanley, and we add a ribbon and some little embellishments. We had a whole bunch of really shiny buttons, so I just went with buttons. So let's go ahead and look at how to tie a double bow. Okay, let's see if I can make a double bow while looking through a camera and attempting to show you how to do the double bow. So first of all, we make kind of a swoopy M, and then take one of the sides, go around and through, and stay, and then pull that tight. And I don't need the bow part to be quite that thick, so I will just pull on its edges and pull it back through until that's tight. So now you have one very pretty bow that is a single bow, which you are more than welcome to do a single, but if you wish to do a double, then we take the one side and go up in front of the bow, we take the other side and we make a little loop behind the bow, make it a little bit bigger so that I can see it in the camera lens here, and then again I'm going to take one side and I'm going to go around and through. Having trouble seeing what I'm doing, but that's okay. You will know what you're doing because you won't be doing it strangely through a camera lens. So then all you'll have to do is, I guess it was upside down. There we go. Make sure to tighten it up, but that is how you make a double bow. Here's a quick look at some of the finished ornaments for the take and make kit. We have our gnomes, we have snowmen. They enjoy wearing little top hats or cute little floppy winter hats. Here is our Pinecone poinsettia, which after we've painted it, we just glued 3 beads in. And you can use white or yellow or gold. And then we have our pine cone that we didn't deconstruct, where we just added a little bit of finery to it. And there you go. Some really fun and simple ornaments to make this holiday season.